No regard for human life. go. Give me a hell yeah.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live!
Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes
Oh!
to the Kings, it's my favorite show.
It feels good tonight. The first W of the season.
I think we all needed that on so many different levels.
Oh, it feels so good. How we doing, chats?
What up, Deuce?
Oh, how you doing, man? Having good?
Hey, Morgan.
Hi.
I'm rooting
Thank
for
you,
y'all.
thank you. But man, how about your Kings, my man?
Let's go, Kings.
I mean, this might be a unbutton another button night.
We're okay.
After a dub.
All
Show
right
it up
there.
a little bit.
All right.
Oh,
kids
man.
are watching.
Feels so good. It's a Saturday night. Kings finally get a win. You know,
Dude.
can I just say a couple of things before we get started?
Yeah, please
What?
do.
Couple of things. I love I was talking to Morgan about this morning. I said, you know, if the Kings ever like start winning, there's always a people who, no matter what, have something bad to say. The Kings would win. Kings get the first one. It was a pretty fun win. They figured it out. Had some adversity. They get to win. First couple of comments I noticed. One person said the bench was awful tonight. The second one was, hey, without Murray and without Huerter, they only hit 10 threes. Or something crazy like, no, hold on. Let me rephrase what he
Okay,
said.
okay.
No, Huerter and Keegan, how'd they combine for? They hit 10 threes. Oh, without those two, they only hit 4 threes. Well, guess what? Without any players, they don't win this game. Good thing those two guys play on the team.
Great point.
Oh, man.
And you know what? I think some people, I've noticed this a lot in life. There's people who feel like if they ever are excited or satisfied about something, and this is serious, about anything in life, that then they're showing that there's no room for improvement. But it's, hey guys, just because you're excited about something and something went well in your life, you can celebrate it. You can be happy and also understand and analyze what you can do better. And that's what we're here for.
So we're going to have some fun tonight. I do want to say one more thing. I can't thank all of you enough for your support over the last few days. Most of you know by now, my grandma did end up passing away about 2:45 a.m. on Saturday. And it's been a roller coaster ride of emotion since then, obviously, because she was, you know, a huge part of my life, as I mentioned.
5 a.m. on Friday.
What's today?
Saturday.
Okay, well, thanks.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you want to interrupt?
No. I did.
No, let me ask you this.
No,
let
I
me
don't
just ask you
wanna
first. Let me
do-
ask you this. No. Let me just ask you. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Was that essential in that moment to interrupt just for that?
No, I
Well,
just
I mean,
felt
honestly.
bad.
I
I
mean,
just felt
was it-
bad because
was
I
it-
was like, it wasn't this morning, and I just didn't want people to be like, oh my god, like,
Let's just, yeah.
you
No,
know what?
let's rewind and act like that didn't happen.
Okay.
We're on. I also want to mention a huge thank you to everyone who reached out. My grandma passed away Friday morning, 2:45-ish, and it's been a roller coaster since then, but I can't tell you how grateful I am for the amount of people who listen to this podcast, who never comment or write in, who sent messages, people who are, watching us and listening to us all the time. The amount of in-depth messages I received from people,
Holy moly.
people in the business, loved one. It felt really good to get that type of support during a time in my life that's really challenging right now. So thank you. Seriously, just thank you so much. And it felt great to be back at the game today. It was a few hours just to get my mind off things, because it's not just something you just get over in a day. Hey, well, she died. All right, next day's here. New day. Let's go. I know it's going to be a little bit of a journey for me, and that's okay. But today it was fun, and the Kings got the win. So
Yeah.
anyway, I do want to just huge love to all of you guys out there.
Yeah.
It made me feel good.
One of a kind community,
Yeah.
truly. So thank you guys for everything.
Should I start Twitter Spaces real fast?
Why not? As Coach Nick would yell, bloody
And then we'll
murder behind me on a broadcast. Why not?
Was he in rare form today?
Oh, screaming at the top of his lungs that as soon as we went to Mike Brown pregame audio, I had to turn around and go, Nick,
Shut up.
I was like, just 3 notches. Three notches for me.
Hey, Nick, just shut your mouth.
No.
Also, for those who are just filtering in, we appreciate that. The biggest thing you can do is make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. I didn't give a shout out about this. We finally surpassed 8,000 subs.
Thank you.
So you know what I say now?
What do you say?
The road to 10,000 starts.
Wow, not even a 9?
No one cares about 9. We're getting to 10,000. So hit the thumbs up. That helps us grow, and spread the word.
Thanks, guys.
Should we do a little roll call before we start?
You do
Morgan?
the roll call.
I like these early games. I like
Me
these early games.
too.
Shout out to Power Prospecting, who subscribed on Twitch. How about everyone here, including Yeti, Pop 2 Wrestling, Tan Man Dan, who's still tan during the fall, J-Dub So Fly, Hamburger Dad Keegan, Season, Glove World. We got Joe. We got Christine Axelson with Flatline 94 and Mad Doc and Tyler. Oh, I love it, and I'm not done because I saw Nick. I saw Jesus Christ is my King. Tony, Ryan, Adrian, Torch, Langstone, Alex, Primo, Jay is in the building, and he's right next to Alex Thurquist, Adam Lane, Sacramento King, Govano, yours low, Jesse, Bren. I love it. Sacramento Food Force, who, by the way, one of the top TikTok accounts on the planet.
Facts.
Sacramento Food Forest, amazing. Only native plants exist in California.
Love it.
What's up, Mike, Keaton, Jason? I love it, Matthew. All right. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start the podcast. Talk about this Kings win. Coming down in 3, in 2. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Hey, welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast, presented by our friends over at the Detail Pros of Sacramento. Our first winning night chat of the season. The Kings finally get their first win, getting the W at Golden One Center tonight, beating Miami 119-113. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How you doing, Mo?
I'm doing much better, Deuce. How about you?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm excited.
Good.
I'm excited that we are here talking about a Kings win, because down the stretch, when things went a little in the third quarter, and then when Miami closed the gap in the fourth, I started to think really bad things about, great, Kings are going to be 0-5, and I can't use the grandma died excuse to, distract from a Kings loss, right? Like now I have to talk about what just transpired,
Couldn't run away from it. So thank you, Judy, for the win.
Well, we got a lot to discuss today for the Kings as, they just needed a win. I didn't care how it happened, what it looked like.
Agreed.
But there was a lot of good from this game. There's still some things that you worry about long-term that we could talk about today because as we do after wins and losses, there's good, there's bad, there's ugly after every win, after every loss. So we got to talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Morgan, I loved how this team came out today. And they started with the same group. They went with Fox. They went with Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, and Domantas Sabonis. One of the most exciting things I saw early was setting a defensive tone. I noted a couple of things early.
What'd you know?
First possession for Miami, shot clock violation.
Yes.
The first 3 possessions for Miami all late in the shot clock. And I thought the Kings defense came out. They were engaged. They were rotating well. They were communicating. I felt like they were flying everywhere. And the biggest thing that Mike Brown has talked about with this squad is, hey, if you get beat, you don't stop, all right? You can recover. And it's that next play mentality. Keep moving. Keep finding your guy. Let's go. And I felt like they came out the right way and played some really good defense.
Yeah, it was there. It was there on so many different levels. Not only the perimeter defense putting on the pressure that was much needed there for the Sacramento Kings, but also you notice at times their anchor, Domantas Sabonis in the middle, really talking it up, being that guy, being the big guy in the middle to make life even harder for Miami. It was just nice that everyone was clicking and being active in it. You know what was cool too? It looked like that's how they know that they can play like that. It didn't look like, oh, this is a fluke and this is only going to happen once in a while. Sure, you're still going to see streaks of it here and there as they learn to grow together defensively, but it just was very consistent for the most part.
Yeah, and I'm not proclaiming that all of a sudden they're a top 10 defensive team. I just think after the last couple of games, the defense really took a step back, and it looked much better, specifically in the first half. I thought they were really, really engaged. And obviously getting stops goes a long way because it allows their offense to function even at a higher level. Miami was trying to go zone at times, and they had trouble doing that early because Sacramento wasn't allowing them to get set. They were moving well. They were getting great shots, and they were attacking. It wasn't like it was a 3-point barrage early in the game. The Kings got it done in the paint. I wrote it down, 20 points in the paint in just the first quarter. They led 32-23 at the end of the first. The big story, too, I thought was the whistle today. And I try not to be this guy because I think NBA officials get way too much stuff. I think the game is faster than ever. These athletes are very good at deceiving officials. And Miami is probably, for me, after this, here's my early season take on Miami. One of the most annoying teams in the league. How many times Jimmy Butler creates contact, immediately whiplashes, like he got absolutely trucked. And it's like, no, that shouldn't have been a foul. They're calling it. Sabonis picked up the second foul at the 6:24 mark. And Brown's like, no. Sabonis was like, challenge it. He ran all the way to the bench to look at what the assistants look at, the monitor, to see if they should challenge or not. Sabonis is going like this, and I'm going, I wonder if Mike Brown is going to use his challenge in the first quarter. I'm not usually a proponent of doing it, but it was a significant moment. Sabonis was playing well. He challenged it, and it was overturned. It ends up being a foul on Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, they called far too many of those on Sabonis. And again, you saw those last two at the end by Sabonis, and it was just like, wait, so physical basketball is going to be called? I'm confused. Is this his reputation that we're going by? I don't want to, and I said this even on the postgame, Deuce, I don't ever want to be those people that push out the narrative that like, it's the referee's fault, because no, we can find lots of flaws in the Sacramento Kings and what they do and don't do. And guess what? When those added challenges are thrown at you by officials, make sure to deal with it the right way. But there's just times where it's like, okay, that's really tough when your big is getting these calls. And really quick, you talked about Kyle Lowry and the way that he's great at manipulating calls.
I was actually talking about Jimmy Butler, but yes, Kyle Lowry too.
Kyle Lowry too. So we had Brad Miller on the set after the game, and he was like, yeah, I played with Kyle Lowry and I saw him do that a few times. And I asked him, I was like, is he the ultimate flopper? And, I'm just kind of joking. Like, is he the ultimate, like, knows how to manipulate a call? And he was kind of like tiptoeing around it, being nice about Lowry. But at the same time, it's like, he's good at it. It's part of his game that he is good at. But as a basketball purist, I effing hate it.
It's annoying when it's the team you don't want to win.
Yes.
It's obviously crafty, but the officials, I felt like they were getting baited by every single one.
Yeah.
Anyway, after Bam gets called, break glass. There's no Dwayne Dedman in this game. There's no Yurtseven. So Spoelstra goes with the old man. We got an Udonis Haslem sighting. And then he comes in and he is, of course, doing Haslem things, just coming out, being physical, laying wood. There was one play where I thought Barnes got knocked out. And I was like, okay, Haslem, like, that's a foul on Haslem. They're like, foul on Harrison Barnes. I'm like, this guy he's on the ground. His head. He's got cobwebs. Like, what are we doing? So that was tough. But they had to fight through that. And I'm going to be honest, there were some ticky-tack calls the other way, too. I just thought the whistle was blowing far too much for my liking in a game. I like the game to be free-flowing. A couple other things for the first quarter as we kind of bounce around. We'll talk about how this game finished.
Sure.
Keegan Murray, man, there was one play, heroes on him. Guy hands a little jab step, back three. Boom. And then he's defending Hero.
And then not only that, though, you talk about his step back three, also understanding when Hero was on him and then bodied him up and just went strong in the paint and had a little post move on him. It was nice to see him be so versatile and just, again, high IQ player, understanding what to do at certain different spots on the floor, getting what he wanted offensively at times. It was nice to see.
So after one, it was 33-23 Kings, and it looked pretty good. Miami was 7 of 21 in the first quarter, and I'm thinking, well, this could be one of those things where Miami is playing, the final game, a road trip. They look a little tired, whatever. Yeah. But they did not go away. A couple of other notes from the first quarter before we move on. Mike Brown talked about shortening the rotation. Like, could he go to 8, 9 guys? He did go a little deeper than maybe we thought he would, although I don't know how much you want to count it. We saw KZ Okpala for exactly 3 seconds at the end of the first quarter. They were just bringing in to get a stop, more of a rotational thing. But he ends up playing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, is that true? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys. Well, I guess that makes sense too because Sabonis was in foul trouble, so he did go to Alex Len for 5 minutes and 19 seconds too. I'm sorry, for 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Terrence Davis only played 5 minutes, 19 seconds in this game. Anyway, he talked about tightening the rotation. We saw a new big come off the bench, someone that we haven't seen in a little bit. Trey Lyles played tonight.
Yeah, and he did a great job with his minutes. I thought he was
fantastic.
It was nice to see not only was he contributing on the offensive end, but also just trying to fly in there, trying to be active on both ends of the floor. And that's what you want to see from a guy that's not going to see a lot of playing time. How efficient can you be in the minutes that you're given? I thought he did fantastic.
He finishes the game with 10 points, 5 rebounds. He was 4 of 7. He also knocked down 2 threes in the game in his 18 minutes of action. Mike Brown shouted him out after the game as one of the key guys. Moving on to the second quarter, Morgan, I just felt like they were more engaged, and the Kings were again attacking that zone in a pretty good way. Things got a little hairy. 7:59 mark. Sabonis picks up his third foul. He did end up coming back into the game, which I felt like it was a little risky, but it ended up being okay. The Kings really got it going then. And one of my favorite plays that I noted, Keegan Murray finding Sabonis for the jam, attacking the zone, dished it to Sabonis. And I think looking at Sabonis tonight, he was finishing inside. And I know it was a better matchup because they didn't have a lot of depth at the big besides Bam. But, man, I just feel like Sabonis early in the season has missed so many gimmies around the basket where you're like, what's going on? Like, how are you missing these easy looks? Tonight, he missed one shot. He was 8 of 9.
Hell yeah. I mean, just much better focus. I think he was being very decisive with how he wanted to go about his offensive play. It was nice to see him play with confidence and to see him also play with confidence after being in foul trouble. That's sometimes the hardest part, especially you look at right now what the drop off seems to be when Sabonis is not in there. And I don't even know that. I don't even want to use the term drop off. It's just different. The offense is different. The defense is different. Things are different when Sabonis is not out there on the floor. You saw when Holmes went in, but Holmes still did a much better job being active in so many different ways that he could. I know he missed a push shot pretty easy there toward the end. That was a little frustrating because like that was his jam. Even when Alex Len came in, it was like he got, I forget how many rebounds, with just one. I remember just like one big rebound that he got. And I was like, there you go. Be that big fella that they need in these few minutes while Sabonis isn't capable of playing.
Well, it's a good thing Sabonis had a big first half. We didn't see him a lot in the second half, right? Because of
the
foul
third.
issues. But to finish the first half, Sabonis scored 12 of his 18 points in the second quarter, which was huge. And then Kevin Huerter dropped 9 in the second quarter. So those two combined for 21 points in the second quarter. It was beautiful, too, because the Kings finished the first half on a 15-4 run, which I loved. It's like, cool. It's kind of a close game. It feels like it's about to break open. They finished well, 71-49 at the half. It was really fun basketball.
It was a great way. It was fun. It was fun, and it was a great way to finish off that half, right? You saw the way that they were just being so smart, the way that they were attacking Miami Heat's defense, and then obviously on the other end, defensively, locked in all 4 quarters. That's what it takes. Like, that's what good teams do. You don't let up on either end of the floor, and just seeing that for consistently an entire half until we obviously started that third quarter.
Yeah, the third quarter was the issue. And you look at the points. I know people are going, well, I mean, Morgan, they scored 33 points and 31 in the fourth, Miami. But it's because the Kings were they were doing a terrible job with turnovers. They had 7 turnovers in the first half. They finish with 14 in the second half.
Some of the laziest, softest passes I had seen, especially when Miami was in zone. It was like Miami was taking away these passing lanes, and the Kings were practically passing it into their arms. Fake a pass to make a pass, these little fundamental things. And that's the point of a zone, right? To throw your offense off, to make things, the geometry of the floor look a little bit different. And that's what it was doing for the Kings until they finally got back in it. But man, those turnovers were very costly.
Yeah, and 21 turnovers turned into 28 points for Miami. And one guy that had a really difficult time tonight was Davion Mitchell. He played 11 minutes and 47 seconds. He had 4 turnovers in that stretch. He had a couple of passes that were bad, and then an offensive foul.
He didn't look confident. You saw him with the basketball at the top, and when a double was thrown at him, he didn't look like he wanted it. Something could be a little off with him right now. He needs to figure it out, because it's not like he is used to starting and is like, okay, I'm just playing a whole different role. He's played this role before, and I think he has to find his confidence as a point guard, and especially when it comes to his ability to score. We've seen him capable of scoring, stopping and popping, getting crafty, doing what he needs to do offensively. You're not seeing it right now.
The other guy who had turnover issues tonight, Keegan Murray, had 5. There are a couple of passes that were just like, hey, you kind of forced that one. He had one in the corner where it was trying to get a skip pass going or something, and Jimmy Butler was like, what are you doing? I'm right here reading you like a book. So, 5 turnovers for him. But that third quarter is what we got to talk about, because it was dreadful. I mean, you're up 22 at the half, feeling pretty good, and all you're thinking is, can you just have a good third quarter for once? Because this has been a theme for a long time for Sacramento. They came into tonight's game a league worst minus 18 in third quarters, and it was a problem again tonight. You had foul after foul being called. Murray picks up his third, 34 seconds in.
Yeah.
Sabonis picks up his 4th and 5th foul at the 9:59 mark of the third quarter. And that's where I felt like it was really starting to shift. The Kings still had the lead, but then Miami got it going. Miami got Sacramento on the penalty, and then it got really scary.
Yeah, and you felt it, right? Because not only what we've seen in years past, obviously different rosters, different teams, but same arena, same vibe, same feeling when that third quarter goes to shit, and then everyone else seems like they're starting to deflate. Obviously, too, with a team like Miami with an established culture, they have that next man up mentality. You've seen Gabe Vincent in other games, at least, really step up. Like, that depth will be there at times. And that's when things can get scary, when a team like that is capable of doing such things. But the Kings, they faced adversity and they kept fighting on.
You got to that fourth quarter, and then when Miami cuts it to 1, I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's not.
But they got Miami into the penalty, and they executed down the stretch. They responded well after Miami cut it to 1. They got the lead back up to 10. They hold on to get the win, and there's a lot of guys to give love tonight. It was disappointing when Sabonis fouls out the 5 whatever mark of that fourth quarter, because once that happened, I started to think even worse things about, okay, the lead's shrinking here. Sabonis is fouled out. That's tough. But what I like about tonight is you had the terrible third quarter. Miami responded to get back in the game and really push you, and you kept competing. You kept doing what you could.
Yeah.
Hitting shots down the stretch. I thought Kevin Huerter was outstanding tonight.
Oh, my God.
He knocked down 7 3-pointers.
Yes.
And I believe 8 attempts. He finishes with a game-high 27. Keegan Murray with a career-high 22. That was huge.
And then not only that, you had a scoreless Harrison Barnes in the first quarter. And then you see him even finish this one with 11 points. He made some moves there at the end that were big. And then on top of all of that, De'Aaron Fox with a career-high 13 rebounds. Again, doing something else in another category. Mike Brown has talked about that at practices. Like, I love when these guys can show me what they're capable offensively, but where else are you going to be great? And tonight, De'Aaron Fox was great in the rebounding category.
And he struggled with the shot a little bit. It was 6 of 17. He did make all 5 of his free throws, which was good.
Awesome.
But yeah, you mentioned the 13 rebounds, and his rebounding numbers have taken a serious jump this year. De'Aaron's having a great year. And I even like tonight, 6 of 17. But like you were just saying, can you find another way to impact the game? And he not only had a career high in rebounds, he led the team in rebounding, and Sacramento ended up out-rebounding Miami tonight. That's a tough team, dude. And I know they might have some older guys. Lowry, who's not like the same dude anymore. He finishes with 15. Butler only had 13. It was Tyler Hero hitting big shots, but I also thought Fox down the stretch played some good defense. He wanted to defend Tyler Hero. He made life tough at him at time.
Did.
How many blocks did Fox end up having? Because I think he had at least 2. Yeah, he had 2 blocks in the game, too. He's been so active defensively. He came into today, and a number I'm going to keep an eye on all year long, top 5 in deflections. And he's up there with some of the best. Even entering tonight, the other number that jumped out to me, top 5 in points in the paint. 17 points in the paint per game. The other guys on the list, Giannis, Luka, Zion, and Anthony Davis.
Yes.
4 of those guys are bigs, and then Luka's a big guard. De'Aaron Fox is in some good company right now. So he's been scoring the ball. He's been rebounding well. He's been shooting better, except for tonight, knocking down some free throws. And defensively is where I've been really encouraged by his play.
And I think his defense is really helping his offense, right? And it's not only in transition, you're seeing him capable of going downhill and getting into the paint, but it's the way he's controlling himself when he is in the paint. It's the way he's controlling his body when he's up in the air and not just looking for a call or looking for a foul. He's looking to make a shot first. And that's how you start getting those calls and gaining the respect of some of these officials around the league. But again, he's doing a great job of just stopping, hitting those little mid-range shots in the paint or creating and getting in the paint. And people are moving without the basketball. People are starting to trust each other. And you really saw that in tonight's game.
So talking about Sabonis, we mentioned he fouled out. He only played 22 minutes and 44 seconds in the game because of the foul trouble. 18 points. He had 7 rebounds. He had 3 assists on 8 of 9. Made a lot of shots inside. Got a lot of good looks. You mentioned Harrison Barnes. He did have 6 assists. He did set up Sabonis too. But going back to Sabonis, I mentioned this last time. the foul thing is an issue with him.
Sure.
And today I felt like there were probably 3 really, really questionable fouls on him.
I agree.
And I don't always say that, but I'm going Miami, and that's a credit to Miami a little bit because they set the tone.
Yes.
They play a physical style of ball, right?
Yes.
So they're going to get the benefit sometimes because that's how they play. That's their identity. They're going to play hard all the time. I just thought there were some bullshit calls on him tonight. And I'm surprised he didn't get teed up. I'm surprised Brown didn't get teed up because I thought they really did a poor job. And the way he fouled out, I'm like, you're going to call him on that. You're going to foul him out on that play in the fourth quarter.
Being a physical big, I get it when there's questionable and it's like, oh, but his hand was open. Oh, he used a lot of his forearm. There were absolutely 3 calls I noted with the word bullshit next to them because it was just, I wanted to remember how awful those truly were. And you're right, though, Deuce. Credit to Miami. They do a fantastic job, whether you want to call it manipulating the call and or setting the tone. They've done that for years, and that's part of their strategy. That's part of the game, and you know they're going to do that when they come in. So what can you do better? Sometimes there's not even much that you can do better except keep your head in the game and make sure that you're there for everyone.
And I thought he did that for the most part. It was really frustrating to see some of the calls, but outside of tonight, he does get a little handsy at times.
Oh,
right?
God.
And you got to stay vertical, but I thought he actually did a good job tonight, you know?
Yep.
And again, when Bam's ramming into you, like, it's not easy to take those blows. But I thought the calls tonight were really weak. I did not think this crew did a great job at all.
No, and that's totally fair. Again, not pushing the narrative that officials are bad in any way, shape,
Except
or form.
these guys tonight.
Except get them out of there.
These crooks tonight, put the tape in, watch the game, you will see it, you scumbags.
Oh God, yeah. But one more thing, you mentioned De'Aaron Fox's defense on Tyler Hero.
Mm-hmm.
There was a defensive possession at the end where Fox had him close in that corner, and it was like on that sideline, and you had the sideline, De'Aaron making his life difficult, and then Mike Brown just like clapping up in his ears, like and it just ended up being either a shot clock violation or it went out of bounds or something. I forget what happened, but it ended up working in the Kings' favor.
What'd you make of Keegan Murray's night tonight? Besides the turnovers,
It's good to see that he's human.
He airballed a 3 too,
Yeah.
which is like, oh, he is definitely human.
Yeah,
But
I was waiting for this type of game.
But he still had 22 points.
I
He
know.
had 2 blocks, 8 of 13 shooting. Another game where he hits 3 3-pointers. Coming into tonight, he was averaging 3.3 threes made per game, which was 11th in the NBA. And it's just, I feel like we say the same thing every game pretty much about him. He's just impactful every night. And were there a few more mistakes tonight? Yeah. He had some turnovers, some bad passes, but he's going to be confident with his shot. He had a couple of nice drives to the basket. He had one that just popped out too. I just like his game a lot. The guy's mature beyond his years. He's a damn good player. I mean, in a way, I think I'm starting to take him for granted. The fact that, hey, this is a rookie. This is a young man. Like,
I'm there. I'm totally there because it's like now that he's shown he can ball, he can hang. It's like, okay, now our expectations of you every game are going to be at a different level. And the thing is, I think he is capable of meeting those standards because of his mentality. And when he's having an off night in one place, there's still going to be some sort of impactful play from him. But look, he's human. There's going to be flaws. And tonight it seemed to be the sloppiness.
What do you think of the Keegan Murray? I like it.
Yeah, I think it's cute.
The Yogi Ferrell one used to pop off. Back
Oh
in the
my
day.
God, people love, and that's why I think some people are like, okay, we gotta get used to this and allow it to come to us. And I think when people are feeling hot, dude, that arena was electric. I couldn't hear a thing.
Yeah,
A thing.
it was great.
And it was, yes, great if you're not doing a broadcast for sure.
Yeah, it was a fun night. You get the
It was
win.
a
The
lot of
Kings
fun.
are now 1-4. We'll look ahead at the schedule coming up in just a second, but we should mention that our first thoughts presented by our friends over at the Detail Pros of Sacramento. Go see my guy, Nick. He will make your car look so good. like a Keegan Murray jumper.
Ooh.
Just
You want your car to look like a Keegan Murray jumper?
Just close your eyes and
Okay.
picture a Keegan Murray jumper.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is that like a brand new
And a
paint
drive
job?
to the basket.
Wow. Ooh.
A knee to the balls of
Oh.
Steven Adams.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, you want your car looking good inside and out. Nick is a big Kings fan, but he also does a great job over at the Detail Pros of Sacramento. You can hit him up today at 916-340-4317. Book it today. We take our cars there. He makes them look great. You can also go to his website, thedetailprosac.com. That's thedetailprosac.com. He's been in the last couple of games, I think, right? What was he eating?
Just Carlin had something in his mouth. He's good.
Carlin was just eating something.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he didn't choke.
go over to thedetailprosac.com. They bring you each and every one of our first thoughts. Tonight is also presented by Joey Reagan over at Lion Real Estate. If you're looking to sell a house right now, you need to hit up our guy Joey. If you're looking to buy a house in the Sacramento area, hit up our guy Joey Reagan over at Lion Real Estate. He knows this area so well. He'll work with you to find your dream house or to sell your house. He knows what he's doing. It's not like a transactional thing. I know it's like, well, of course it is. He has to make money. No, talk to him. He's not a salesy guy at all. He's awesome. Also a Kings fan.
Yeah, also a Kings fan, and just someone that is, like Deuce is saying, easy to build a relationship with. So if you're in the market to buy or sell your home or helping anyone else out, make sure to hit up Joey. But also you can look at his Instagram, and he posts a lot about some open houses that he's always showing as well in the Sacramento area.
You can hit him up on his website, jreagan.golion.com. jreagan, that's RAGAN.golion.com. You can also call or text him at 916-412-4592. 916-412-4592. That's license number 02128070. Morgan, looking ahead, the Kings hit the road coming up on Halloween.
Yeah.
They're going to be in Charlotte. A little 4-game road trip. They go Charlotte, then a rematch against the Miami Heat, then Orlando, then fly back across the country to take on those Golden State Warriors.
Hey.
Who, by the way, lost Jordan Poole tonight, I think, in overtime.
Ooh.
Looks like he went down with an ankle situation. So that's something to watch. By the way, the Hornets did win in overtime. Yeah.
Wow. I saw it in the fourth quarter, but I didn't even know it went to overtime.
Yes.
Good for them.
They won 120-113. Let's take a look at some of their numbers.
No LaMelo Ball.
No, he's still out. He's not played a game this year. PJ Washington dropped 31 points.
Wow.
Remember, he had a huge game in Sacramento one time, I think a 40 bomb. Gordon Hayward added 23. Oubre with 18. Their starting point guard tonight, Dennis Smith Jr.
Dude, no
Wow.
Terry Rozier. So,
Right.
yeah, it's different right now for the Charlotte Hornets, but you just never know what you're going to get in the NBA, right? You never know what type of fight you're going to get from some of these odd teams. And that's why if you're the Sacramento Kings, you have to look at this as like if you want to call it a must win. Is that fair?
No, it's not. Someone hit me up today. Is
I
it a
hate-
must win? I know it's not.
I
Must win.
hate
It's not.
calling things must win, but I just feel like this next game, if you are the Sacramento Kings, you're going,
Yeah, take care of business.
Okay, fine.
Take care of business. What would our dear friend King's assistant Jordy Fernandez say?
Fucking business trip.
You had that ready.
Yeah,
Had
say
that
it
ready.
again.
Fucking business trip.
Thank you, Jordy.
I don't give 4 fucks about winning and losing.
Thank you, Jordy.
I love it.
God, I love it.
Anyway, so you
Oh.
take on the Hornets, then a rematch with the Heat a couple of days later. Then you get a few days off in Orlando against a Magic team that's playing incredible lineups at times. Monster lineups with Mo Bamba, Bol, 6'10", Franz Wagner. You got Banchero. It's a weird team that could do some weird things. Very talented.
Great way.
And
to
then you
describe
take on the
them.
Warriors. All right, realistically,
Oh, I don't like this.
this is what I want, not
Okay.
what I'm predicting.
Okay.
Next 4 games, win 2. If you come back home, a tough Cavs team, by the way, back home, and you would be then what, 3 and what's the record right now, Maura? So that you'd be 3 and
1
7.
4.
It's not great. Oh, sorry, no, they would be 3 and 6.
Yeah.
Okay, not great. I would like more than that, but
Yeah.
just the way it started, start putting some things together. The game in Miami is going to be tough. The Warriors game is going to be tough, but winning the Hornets game in Orlando, that's like, come on. And then if you could steal one of those, that'd be great. Win 3 or 4.
And when we
you
say
feel really good.
when we say come on, like those are two teams that you still have to play elite against, right? It's not just about being like, okay, let's save our energy for this Warriors at the end of this road trip. No. Like win those 2 games, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Here's what Fox said after the last game. I want to play it for you guys.
I think some games we play better than others, but if we want to be where we want to be at the end of the season, we have to be able to beat good teams. Good teams beat good teams. And if we can't, then, we're not as good as we think we are.
So maybe our expectations should be higher too. It's like, yeah, if you're going to be a good team, you have to beat the good teams.
Facts.
Take care of business. It can't just be, oh, no, can you beat the Hornets in Orlando? It's like, no.
That's why if you can win again against the Heat, you know what they're capable of. You're on their home floor. You are on a road trip. I think it's doable, but you just have to all be on the same page.
Well, let's talk some NBA. Let's talk some Kings. Let's do a little night chant. Since it's a win, I think we have to bring it back.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! Cut the music! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Deuce and Mo podcast proudly brings to you the best NBA and Kings podcast in the world. It's the basketball mind, Deuce Mason. It's TV's Morgan Reagan. It's the Deuce and Mo podcast. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Why not?
Gets me every time.
Thank you. All right, let's talk. If you guys want to hop on Twitter Spaces and Discord, we can chat there. A couple of things I want to say right now. I was thinking about this before the game when the Kings were 0-4. I was talking to some people before the game.
Yeah.
God, 0-4, is it the same old? I don't think it is. I think this team, even coming to the night, I was like, no, you know what? There's enough good I'm seeing, and I know it's hard for some fans to see that. There's enough good I was seeing that I'm like, it doesn't feel the same. They've been kind of in games. They definitely haven't been perfect. The offense has had really bright moments. The defense, up and down.
If you're going to be a casual, look at stats and look at records. Like, I get it. You're going to feel that, oh, man, it's the same old shit. But truly, if you're watching in depth, you're seeing that this team truly is a little different. The way that they do compete, the way that they play basketball, the way that they understand basketball. And Mike Brown even talked about that before the game, talking a little bit about urgency and what they need to do differently, but also talking about, hey, as we continue to compete at this level and be this competitive, the wins will start to come. The losses will be there as well. Sometimes we'll play well and we'll still lose, and sometimes we'll play like shit and still win. Like, that's how the NBA goes. But as long as we're competing, everything's going to start falling into place.
Sam in the chat says Huerter was such a massive pickup. And early season, I mean, I think you're right. It's just, he had that one game where he had a terrible shooting performance. Last game against Memphis, when he got hurt with the shoulder, only played a few minutes in the third and sat the rest of the way because of that. His shooting is just electric. There's going to be some mismatches defensively at times where maybe there's just bigger, stronger guys, but he moves really well. He can handle. He's not as scared to launch.
That's what I was going to say when he came up in transition and had that deep ass three.
From Folsom.
Yeah, all the way from. I was, what? Is he even in the gym? Kidding. Corny, weird. Yeah. Thank you. It was moments like that, though, I felt this confidence in Kings shooting for this season. And I just think that they're going.
His size, too.
Oh, love his ability to be that bigger guard, especially on the defensive end as well, because then he's not just purely this liability that we've talked about so many years in Sacramento. Like, hey, he can, catch and shoot, but he can't do anything else.
Do me a favor, though. Don't miss 2 free throws, Kevin Huerter. If you're gonna go 7 of 8 from 3, you're not missing 2 free throws. No, but he was 8 of 11 shooting overall. He also had 6 assists tonight, and another night where the Kings' assist numbers are super high. 26 assists tonight. The turnovers were the issue, though. 21. And I mean, when I look at the points that they, you're killing me, Nick. Nick is killing me. He just hops in the night chat in the middle of us. All right, he's muted.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway, the turnovers hurt the defense tonight. You know, it puts your guys in a really tough spot when you're turning over the ball. Miami's out in transition. That's when they look their best.
Yeah.
When Sacramento had 7 turnovers in the first half, everything was moving perfectly.
Well, even look at the first quarter. You would text me this when Miami hadn't even shot a 3 halfway through that first quarter, right? It was Gabe Vincent when he finally came in. He made the first 3 for the Miami Heat. But besides that, they weren't getting much. Their defense was locked in along the perimeter, causing shot clock violations, hands in the passing lane, just contesting shots, active. Everything was locked in.
Since it's the night chat portion, we have to give people love. We got to give all the people watching us live on Twitch and YouTube love. If you're in the YouTube chat, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button. That should be close to 300 by now. Agree?
Oh, agree, please.
Yeah, please. Also, shout out to Yo Michelle, who donated $2 saying, no Huerter, the Kings go 0-20.
Give me a hell yeah.
So funny.
Also, a huge shout out to Jesse Nance, who became a YouTube member. Jay Carey subscribed. Ryan Kramer became a member his 4 straight months. Same with King Seahawk. Says, you guys are the best. Hang in there, Deuce.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Also, I missed this from the other day. Our guy Kenneth donated 50 members. So appreciate all those who are now members on the Deuce and Mo podcast page. All right, we'll continue to talk about some other things. I do want to mix in some chats and some Twitter spaces. Let's kick things off with Christian. Christian, what's up, man? What's on your mind? What do you see tonight?
Hey, guys. I didn't get to watch the first half of the game because I was at work, unfortunately.
Oh, man. So you must have been like wanting to crush your TV or however you were watching when you were watching the second half. You missed all the good stuff.
I was just excited to see the score, at least the halftime. I was like, we might win this game. And then third quarter happened. And, the old Kings feeling of, oh, no, we're back at this again.
Yeah.
Happened. But give them credit. They faced adversity, and they battled through it. You can't say that about Kings teams for the past 10 years.
Yeah, that's, I think, the most encouraging thing. I'm seeing more signs of competent defense, although they haven't been perfect, and I don't think they're going to be this year based on personnel, based on the lack of rim protection. But they were flying today. They were moving around. Offensively, for the most part, they've been really good, except tonight with the turnovers in the second half. So I'm encouraged, and I think they've got some shooting on the squad. Huerter has been a really good pickup, and Keegan has been – I know we were all kind of high on Keegan after Summer League. I get that. But Morgan, we need to have perspective for a second. This guy is averaging probably after tonight close to 19 points a game.
Yeah.
He's just playing. He missed a good portion of camp. He only played 2 preseason games, missed 10 days because he had COVID. And this guy, he's a player.
No.
And I know, Kings fans – sometimes we're broken, right? It's don't get too excited about guys Tyreek Evans, 25-5, and rookies from the past and all that. This guy can play, and he's got the demeanor, the composure, the IQ, the smarts defensively. He's got size. This guy can be special. He really can. He can grow into something really, really special.
That's what I was going to say. You talk about what he is right now and how he's playing right now. Think about him growing in the NBA. And think about this for once, you guys.
Size? He might be 7'6"?
Yes. He's going to be just like Victor Wembanyama, except be able to play just the way he is. No. His growth as a player and where it's going to go. And not only that, how many times in Sacramento history are we always talking about players can't develop here in Sacramento because there's never the right leadership. There's never the right people in place. They have someone in Mike Brown and a coaching staff that is very capable of developing guys the right way, teaching them how to play basketball the right way, growing them off and on the floor the right way. So it's just the best situation right now.
He's smooth.
Yes.
You know, he doesn't take his first, like, he's not scared to take shots, but he's not scared to pump fake and drive.
His shot selection is just on point because you also trust him with the basketball and you trust when he's taking a shot.
Christian, how are you feeling about him?
Oh, I feel great about him. I was skeptical when we drafted him, but he showed up in summer league. I thought, okay, let's see what he does in regular season. And he's shown that he can be that, if not the second option, at least a very great third option. And that's all you can ask for a dude that's in his first season. Can we also give love to Fox for a bit? Even though he didn't score a lot this game, he made some great defensive plays. You couldn't have said that about him 2 years ago, that he would be a great defensive player, at least in certain situations. I mean, he took on the guy that scored a lot of points for the Heat and forced a couple of bad shots and made some good plays. You can't ask for more. Harrison Barnes made some good plays at the end. Sabonis fouls out, but he makes great plays in the first half that gets them the lead. As much as I've been optimistic and pessimistic as a roller coaster ride of a season, even in 5 games, it's a good feeling to see a Kings team that's fighting, even when people are doubting them everywhere.
Yeah. I appreciate you checking in, man.
Of course. You guys have a good night. Keep up the great work. As Coach Nick would say, why not? Why not make the
Yeah, why not? Dude? Thanks, man. I appreciate you checking in.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was talking, who was it before the game I was talking to? I can't remember, but the person was like, after watching this team this year, I realized how much at times in the past Kings teams weren't playing hard.
Yeah.
I was laughing, like, yeah. And I do think it does start with what Mike Brown's trying to build here. And I just think they're in a good spot. And I know there's going to be some people that go, Deuce, they're 1-4, settle down. I know, but like I look at how they played at times and I see a team that's like, oh, this could be a play-in team if things go right. Like if they can really put things together and be a little more consistent, they're going to win some games this year.
Because they're going to grow together. They're going to grow not only their chemistry, but their strategy and the way that they do things on the floor. And the buy-in in the understanding of what the standard is for Mike Brown. Mike Brown's talked about this. He said, what is like Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Greg Popovich all have in common? They have a foundation and they start there. And once you have that, you can build and play good basketball off that. And that's exactly what you're starting to see little glimpses of. So that's why even when Mike Brown is talking at practice or before some of these games, I feel like I have said some of the things he said. Well, before we went into this season, I said, all I want to see is competent basketball. I don't care what the win-loss column looks like.
And you feel like we're seeing more competent basketball.
And we are 100% seeing more competent basketball, and I didn't even expect it this early on.
He also mentioned Harrison Barnes, and Harrison Barnes plays 33 minutes. Harrison Barnes' season got off to a terrible start. He had a terrible preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Barnes made an impact in this game with his 6 assists. He was 3 of 7. He was also 4 of 4 from the line. And I was concerned about the free throw shooting because he had been an 80% guy, but he was missing them in the preseason, and he was like 52% to start. He's knocking those down. So to get those type of contributions, great. The bench, I think, is still an area where you're like, okay, can you find some consistency? Monk, the last couple of games, has put up some really nice numbers. Tonight, he only plays 13 minutes, 6 points for him. Got a couple of quick fouls and turnovers. They're still kind of struggling with that. I do think Richaun Holmes deserves some love. I think if you look at the box score, it's not going to blow you away with 5 points and 4 rebounds. But his defense at times this year, I don't know if it's a scheme, getting adjusted to things, getting adjusted to the role, but it doesn't feel like he has found any rhythm. There's been a lot of defensive breakdowns. Tonight, his defensive engagement was great. I could tell he was trying to be careful using his hands. He gets handsy at times. He was digging for the ball. He had a couple of deflections in this game. I was encouraged by that.
That's
tonight.
got to be one of the funnest things to see, not only as a coach, when you see players start to do better and better and you're seeing growth from them. But I also think as basketball fans and even Kings fans, the ones that are seeing those positives on the floor or are seeing those positives when they're watching from home, it's fun when you recognize a guy making a change to their game that is going to benefit an entire team. And you just see those little glimpses from a lot of different people, even from Harrison Barnes after, everything seemed like it was in his head. The free throws are being missed. Where is he going to contribute? And even after a scoreless first quarter, he still figured it out.
Do you think that in some ways I deserve some credit for that?
No.
Just because at practice, I'm like, hey, Harrison, what's up with the free throws? And do you think he was like, yeah, you're right, Deuce, and kind of
No,
got his
because
shit
instead
together?
of answering like that, he didn't say, oh, you're right, Deuce. He's like, they're just not falling. That's what he said. And then he flipped you off, punched you in the face, and walked away.
Let's get to some people in the chat, including Trevor, who says, I really liked in the fourth quarter, the other forwards were finding the high post offensively. We need Holmes and Barnes and even Murray working the elbows at times. Yeah, it can be tough with Holmes there. There's been some good moments there. There's been some bad. I'd like to see them get Holmes going to the pick and roll more. And I'd like to see the Kings in general run some more pick and roll. Bad news, sour grapes. 1-4 is what it is. 1-4.
Okay.
If your name's Bad News Sour Grapes 916, I'm going to guess you're probably never happy anyway. I did put a poll question up tonight.
Yeah,
Tonight's
what's
poll
that?
question was, does this win over Miami make you feel better about the team? The options, oh, hell yes. We'll see, and nah. 66% of people say, oh, hell yes. 29% say we'll see, with 5% saying, nah.
Okay. I'm the in-between of, oh, hell yes, and we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, oh, hell yeah.
No, we'll see. I mean, you want to build on this. I feel good for them being 1-4. I feel pretty good because I do think that this team is growing together. New coaching staff, some new players. It's going to take some time, and there's some stuff that I think is ahead of schedule. There's some stuff that I think is behind schedule.
Sometimes you're just going to see a win too, and that confidence is going to grow, right?
Yeah.
That chemistry, that love for one another, the spirit around the team can just grow to another level when you kind of cut those losing streaks.
Chris in the chat says, in a strange way, it's encouraging to see all the room for growth from the load of mistakes, but still enough good for a W.
Great.
Yes.
Great breakdown.
I'm probably right in the chat, and I hope you're probably right with this because I'm probably right. It says our starting lineup is third in the entire NBA with a plus 33.5 net rating with at least 30 minutes played. We actually have a squad. That's cool. Very cool.
I love to see it.
Let's check in next with John. What up, John? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, cool. You just mentioned Harrison Barnes. I actually requested to speak before you talked about him. And what I wanted to say is that I want to ask you two quick questions. Do you think Harrison Barnes is or should be the fifth offensive scoring option on the starting lineup? And then I'll ask the second question.
I think he kind of is at this point with this group, to be honest.
I mean, did you say he is? I kind of cut out for.
I do. I mean, I think he is now with Keegan in the lineup. I think he's probably the fifth option now, which is fine.
Yeah, okay. Well, simple question. Next question is pretty simple, too, is how many field goal attempts would you like to see him take? He took 7 field goal attempts tonight, plus he was on a shooting foul. I consider that to be like an 8th field goal attempt that just wasn't counted. And the other 2 free throws he shot were on that friggin' one when he got knocked to the ground. So he only shot 8 times. Do you think that's good enough for like your your fifth option?
You know, I don't have
curious.
I don't have a specific number that I would say is like, hey, he
Okay.
needs to reach this number of field goals. I think it really just depends on the matchup. It depends on the night. It depends on who's going, who has the flow. And that's where Harrison Barnes needs to do a better job of finding a spot. If no one's finding their flow, you know, their first four options or even the first two options, he's got to step up and try and be that third.
Yeah,
you know, it's those type of things.
Exactly. To me, it's going to change by the night,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think probably who your top two are. I mean, Keegan's really jumping in there where you're going, maybe he's in the number two option. I don't know. We'll see as the season goes on. But yeah, I mean, I don't like putting a certain number on that. To me, it's about getting good shots. And this Kings offense is really about that too, is like, hey, let's get great looks. And it doesn't really matter who's taking them if we're being efficient. As long as we're getting those looks, that's what matters. And take 7 shots tonight. You mentioned the free throws. I'm cool with that. That number is totally fine to me. For a guy to be your so-called fifth option and give you 11 points, 6 assists, knock down free throws, that's a good thing.
All right, I'm going to get pretty nerdy on you guys for a second here. I don't know if you guys are sci-fi fans, but there's this movie Dune that came out last year that was a pretty big hit, and or maybe it was this year, I don't even know. But Barnes is like this is nerdy. He's a fighter in the Dune universe where they have shields where you can attack fast, but then to kill someone you have to go slow. So Barnes does this. He drives in fast, and then he does a Euro step slowly or a slow attack and to get fouled. He has a great free throw attempt rate from last year at least, and I just wanted to throw that out there.
So does that mean he's Miles Tegg?
I missed that. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Oh,
See,
I just looked up Dune fighters and they said who's the best Dune fighter in the series and it said Miles Tegg, and so I was just like, I've never seen Dune. I don't know anything about it except that a lot of people watched it.
Okay, yeah. I'm probably being made fun of in the chat right now.
No, you know what?
But,
I heard good movie. I heard it's a good movie, but I just haven't seen it. John, I appreciate you checking in, man.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'm not a big movie guy. And when I hear movies, all I think about is listening to the Kings Beat podcast when nerd Sean Cunningham and James Ham play, Brendan, have you seen this movie? And it's always some movie from 20 years ago. It's like, yeah, Brendan's a young guy. He hasn't seen all of it. You know why? Because Brendan spends time actually watching basketball. Maybe you should watch more, you nerds. All right? That's what we do.
And now you're going to say thank you for the card and everything that James Ham got media together to give you a condolence card.
I should take this time to thank the media from King that cover the Kings for giving me a card because my grandma died. I should do that. I should say that. I already thanked people at the start of this.
Here's Deuce. He's somewhat back.
In all seriousness, I did mention this in the pre-show, but huge love to everyone who has reached out to me over the last few days because it's been a damn roller coaster ride for me emotionally. Even before the game today, it's just been a lot today. And even people coming up to me at the game, it's like, I was kind of forgetting about it for a second. Now you're bringing it up. But no, in all seriousness, the amount of people who commented, sent me direct message, I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds emails, and it felt really good. There was a lot of people who reached out with advice, with words of encouragement, and it means the world to me because I know this is not going to be an easy process. I mean, her body's probably still warm.
Okay. No, your jokes are not allowed until at least a week after. Like, give me a week. I knew Judy. Come on.
It's going to take me time. And I appreciate you guys being patient with me and supporting me. And it literally, it means a lot.
Really sweet.
Thank you.
Transition into this because I just saw someone, Stephen Brown, mention this. Davion been looking extra mid. And
he struggled. He has struggled this year. And I think defensively there's still things he does well out there, but I expected more offensively, and I don't know if it's struggling with a role, struggling with guys he's playing with. I don't know.
It's tough because my expectations for him as like the leader of the second unit was to really be impactful, and I still think he can. It's just been disappointing not seeing that right away from him because he does have a different type of mentality, something that we know that when it's unleashed, there's not many people like that in the league. So can he dig? Can he find that within to not only make that impact, obviously on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, make some of those shots, still remain crafty in a unique undersized guard that we've seen him be?
I want to look at his minutes per game last year. And of course, those numbers will be a little inflated because at the end of the year, Fox is out and he was starting.
Yeah.
Last year, he was playing 27 minutes a night. This year, he's playing 16 and a half. And I think you do have to consider that when we're talking about people adjusting.
Totally.
He's adjusting to a different role now. And that could be tough. You look at someone like Richaun Holmes, who, 2 years ago, before he got his deal, he's playing 29 minutes a night. Last year, when he played 45 games, he played 24 minutes a night. This year, headed into tonight, he's playing 13 minutes a night. So,
That's tough.
It's kind of a challenge for Mike Brown to go, okay, we got Harrison Kyle's funk. We're trying to figure out different ways. I think one thing that could help is what Brown was saying pregame tonight and at practice the other day is, all right, can we get a consistent rotation down and get kind of established minutes? The other night, it seemed like concession people were going to check into the game. I thought they were going to bring sweaty ass Kenny Thomas down and have him play.
He was down.
Yeah. By the way, I feel like Kenny Thomas truly believes he could come in and give minutes.
Oh, what? Kenny Thomas loves Kenny Thomas and absolutely believes Kenny Thomas could make an impact on any team in the NBA right now.
Kenny also extremely worried that people were within the Kings fan base and maybe other players were going to start calling Kevin Huerter K9 because he wears 9, and Kenny Thomas's nickname was K9.
Kenny is so fun
That's
to mess
my
with.
name.
It's so fun to mess with him. He was Logan Webb, San Francisco Giants pitcher, had tweeted out after last game Wembanyama because he's a Kings fan.
Yeah.
And so we talked about it in the pregame. And they're even showing clips of Wembanyama. And I'm like, man, cheat code, generational talent, all these things. And Kenny, no joke, drops, he's young. He can acting like he's not that good. He's 18-year-old, 7'3", generational talent. And I called Kenny a cash. I said, you're a cash. And he got pissed and started talking about his golf game for some reason.
That's hilarious. Shout out to Wrestle Juice, who donated $10, saying, was at the game tonight, so clearly me being there was a key to our first win. Go Kangs. Scott donates $5, says, hey, just got on. Have we sang the praise for Richaun Holmes yet? Loved his defense on Bam. I love Richaun in purple.
Aww.
Yeah, we did talk about Richaun and said, you look at the box score, you're like, oh, did he really do much? No, I thought he impacted the game tonight. So it was good. It was a good showing for the most part for the Kings tonight. Absolutely. Let's go next to Bryce. We haven't heard from Bryce in a minute. Bryce, who has like a new work schedule, so we never hear from him anymore. What's up, Bryce?
What's going on, Deuce? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, good to hear from you, man.
We just felt like to chime in a little bit. One of the few night chats I'll be able to make. First, obviously, condolences, my friend. It's never going to be easy. I mean, we had this happen couple of years, what was it, 2 years ago? We had 5 people in 1 year. Just grandpa, uncle, cousin, aunt. Anyway, but that's a different thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just
Bryce,
dude, it was
Bryce,
one after the other.
You're not supposed to laugh like that.
Anyway, but yeah, congrats. Sorry about all that, but I think
you're good.
I think the thing that the Kings are going to, obviously we see that they struggle with their lack of rim protection. Obviously, they're not really getting super. I think their rebounds are about even, or maybe it's not too bad. But I think maybe down the stretch it may wear on them. I think the Kings also have a terrible. I feel like they don't adjust like the players. Obviously, the coaches can only do so much. But like today, the game's going the way it's going. Like last game, there's a lot of fouls. Certain things are going a certain way, and it's like you guys gonna have to adjust. Like if they're calling a foul a certain way, like you got to realize that that's out of the game. Like don't do that thing anymore. Like you're just going to have to figure out a way to not use that tool anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I feel like they don't know how to do that. Like they just don't. It's like, okay, they're calling reaches. So stop putting your hands out. Like you're just going to have to body check these dudes or something. Like, I don't know what to do.
And Bryce, think about this though too, because I'm so with you. It's like make that in-game adjustment for yourself as an individual. But as an individual too, you are practicing over and over and over again how to play, or how you're playing and practicing your defense and practice in other games. And then all of a sudden an official throws something else at you. It's hard to adjust, but I'm so with you. The best players can make those adjustments because them being on the floor is more important than them not understanding how to adjust.
Right. Because, I mean, Sabonis is going to lead the league in fouls.
Yeah.
Like, he's just he's not going to do any. We're not, the Kings, he needs to be, for him to, the Kings won't be successful unless he's also successful. And 5 fouls in the third is just, they're not, you can't do anything with that. And I know it's hard, like you said. I mean, you train a certain way. I didn't play basketball for that long, but, you know, I played as a kid and everything. And sometimes things would go a certain way, and it's like, hey, you can't do that thing anymore. It sucks, but I think there may be a personnel move at some point. I don't know if there's any trade options left, but they may need to think about maybe getting a real rim protector. And I personally, everyone thinks I'm a little crazy that I talk to. I think Sabonis is a natural 4 for his style. Obviously, he's tall. I mean, but the way he plays, he's not a rim guy. He doesn't play under the rim.
I know that.
He can do all that. You know what I mean?
He might be offensively, but defensively, what 4s can he guard? And especially in the league where most of these guys, 4s today are like wings. Like, they are so athletic and long.
Yeah.
Puts you in a really tough spot.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, because they're going to get killed inside, and they're not going to bring. Oh, it's clear Kata's not playing. Like, it's just clear. Like, they're not playing Kata at all this year again. And if that's the case, you got to rely on Richaun, and they're on, like you said, what do you play, 12 minutes? Like, you're not going to get much out of that. Like, you're not going to protect the rim.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, they're not perfect.
Hopefully they can just blow everybody out. They can just run everybody down. Run everybody ragged.
Bryce.
Because the offense looks great.
Yeah, no, the offense has been good, and that's the biggest thing to watch coming up. Bryce, I appreciate you checking in, man. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, Bryce.
Later, brother.
Bryce.
That's awesome. And you know what's funny? When he brings up the rim protecting too, Deuce, it's interesting because you and I have talked about this, and I'm always like, but one, who's out there? Especially in this era of the NBA, it's such a different type of rim protectors on different teams. You look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he can just do so much more than just rim protect. And then you look at a big
they also have Lopez there.
And they also, oh my God. And then Lopez. And then you look at Joel Embiid, and you just see some of these bigs, but they're capable, like Lopez is capable of extending the floor. And then Joel Embiid is capable of, creating for being this big and still extending the floor. And I just go, how many of these can you find around the league?
I think the other thing, too, is look at examples of teams who did not have rim protection. Like last year, Mike Brown was a coach on a team that did not have a legit rim protector.
True.
And they found ways to devise a team defensive plan that could do that really worked for them. They also had Gary Payton II. They had Draymond. Like, that definitely helped. And Wiggins, so that helps things. So that's where it's a little different. Minnesota, they were the 13th. They had the 13th defensive rating, I think, in the NBA last year. They didn't have a rim protector last year.
And now look at them.
Now they have one, and it doesn't matter. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a natural 5 that has to protect your rim, right? It's, can you have good perimeter defense? Can you have good contain? Are you going to be able to play good team defense? And having some guys that can block some shots would be nice. Actually, I think tonight you saw like Keegan can be a good guy. Like, he's not what you call a natural shot blocker.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray's blocked some shots this year. I mean, I'd like to see what his totals for the year are. He had 2 tonight. So let's what Keegan Murray has done this year in the shot blocking department. Because I think he has helped in that regard. I'll look on Basketball Reference here.
Yeah, it's been fun to see his length and his ability to get up and stay vertical, and a smart player that knows how to just keep his arm straight at times.
So he's, he had 4. He's had 4 total this year.
Okay.
I thought that number was higher, but so 1 a game.
Okay. Yeah,
I think he's long enough to do that. Fox had a couple of tonight, and that's more on the perimeter and stuff, but those count.
Exactly. Those count, and they also help. So then when you are lacking rim protection, it's great. You have someone else along the perimeter. Yeah.
Protecting the rim, we think so much, is block shots.
Yeah. And it's contesting those shots. It's making those shots difficult at the rim when guys are making it into the paint, because they're going to make it into the paint.
Yeah. Charlie in the chat says, I'd actually like to see Keegan play some 5. He seems to be really strong. Before the draft, watching his stuff, I was like, I don't know if he's much of a 3. I said, I think he's more of a 4 or 5. Now watching him, I feel like he can play a lot of different positions.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think if you wanted to, you could play a small ball 5 lineup depending on the matchup with him at the 5, a guy that has good size strength and can stretch the floor.
Don't get me excited.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Let's give some love to our guy Kenneth, who just donated 50 memberships again.
Give me a hell yeah.
You're the best, Kenneth. Thank you.
All these are great ways to support the podcast. You can get merch at deuceandmo.com. Click on merch. We got some new merch there too. You could hit the thumbs up button. You could subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Twitch. Become a member.
Hit that thumbs up, baby. Thank you.
Let's go next and check in with Loyal Sac Kings fan. What's up, Loyal Sac Kings fan? Loyal Sac Kings fan.
Can you hear us? Just leave him there.
He's a 12-year-old, right?
12 or 13, I think. Yeah. So, he's probably like texting his girlfriend. Ooh.
Brooke in the chat says that my new merch came in today. Hey, what's up, Loyal Sac Kings fan? Did we wake you up?
Yes.
Shut up. We didn't wake you up.
No, I was kidding. I'm kidding.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. What did you see tonight?
I hate to be that guy that talks about the refs a lot, but I feel like the last 3 fouls on Sabonis were straight trash.
I feel like I said that exact quote earlier tonight.
And I love that you're repeating it because it's facts. What made you feel that way?
I just feel like he was the right way, and I don't know. It's just annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
And so if that's going to happen, what would you like to see differently? Wouldn't you just want Sabonis to be like, okay, look, I'm not going to get these calls some nights. It's going to be challenging at times. What can I do to stay physical, but also still remain in the game? I just think as he continues, he's going to learn the personnel of different officials and understand what he can and cannot do with certain guys,
Yeah. Maybe just keep your hands up, but at the same time, also try not to make it super obvious that you're putting your hands down. Just it's just very ticky tacky. He's almost half the time he's keeping his left arm maybe goes down a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I appreciate you checking in. Anything else, man? What else jumped out to you?
I was also saying about the fouls. Bam Adebayo did the same thing in the fourth quarter on Fox. He had both his hands went down. And they didn't call anything. In fact, they called it something on Fox, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought the officiating was bad tonight. I agree, man. Well, hey, dude, thanks for checking in.
All right, thanks for having me.
We'll
again.
talk to you soon. All right.
All right, bye.
Steven in the chat says Deuce's shirt looks like he has leather flip flops on. Let's see what. Let's look at Deuce's shoes tonight.
This is what you just did. Oh, that's in my face, on my shoulder.
Those are some nice Nikes right there. Thank you.
I'm just here.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job. Nice Nikes.
Yeah. So you bite your tongue,
Oh.
Steven.
Deuce is
I got a
very
good
proud.
fit tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're very proud of your bit. Oh, here we go. Business casual. Here he comes. Oh, are you going to? Why? This is very confusing. This is when you just.
Kings win.
You can't tell Deuce no in this time of his life, so you just let it happen.
That's a little Big E.
Okay.
That's a little Big E. Shout out to my guy Big E. Returned. He looks like a server. What?
Hip youth pastor chic.
I remember when you guys were nice to me for, 12 hours. For 12 hours.
Oh my God. That's great. You guys make me laugh.
A couple of things I wanted to bring up real fast,
Yeah.
Morgan Reagan. Passes per game. The Kings are 7th in the NBA in passes per game, according to Second Spectrum. 301 passes a game.
Ooh.
And they are also 6th in assists in the NBA, 27.5 per game.
It is so fun seeing ball movement. It is so fun seeing bodies move without the ball. It's been very enjoyable to see the freedom that is there offensively, but also there's still structure and people are understanding, make the damn pass, get the paint touch, drive to the paint, move. Simple.
We do need to talk about some other NBA stuff tonight because we mentioned the Hornets being the Warriors in overtime. I think a team that is not being talked about enough right now in NBA circles for some bizarre reason.
Who?
The Milwaukee Bucks. They're now 5-0. You have to understand they're doing this without Drew Holiday, without Chris Middleton. Giannis tonight had 34 and 17. Lopez at 21 and 6. Oh, Drew Holiday is back tonight. My bad. My bad. Wasn't he out for a minute? Am I making that up? I think I might be making it up.
When you said that, I was like,
no.
Was it
could be making
preseason that he was
out? Because he has not been out. I'm an idiot. My mind's not 100%.
It's okay. I'll let
anyway,
that one
Holiday
pass.
he is playing, but Middleton's been out. But Holiday today was a monster. He had 34 points and 12 assists. But this Milwaukee team, dude, they just it feels like they're a team where, everyone talks about culture with like the Warriors and some of the good teams. I feel like Milwaukee has established that now where it's like they find these pieces that just work there, whether it was Bobby Portis the last couple of years, Grayson Allen starts on their team. Javon Carter. Like, they have enough guys. Plus, Giannis is just another level. I think Giannis is the best player in the game right now. I think just watching his impact on both ends, what he brings defensively is just out of this world. And we can talk about all the other star players. There are a lot of talented players, but Giannis does it at an elite level on both ends. No, people want to poke holes in him all day long. Well, he doesn't shoot. He can't trust his jump shot. Yeah, but he does 29 other things well on the floor. He deserves a lot of love.
He deserves a lot of love. And you talk about the 29 other things. He is such a key piece to why this team is so successful. And obviously, like you mentioned, their culture, the buy-in, that right there is the main piece. But then you plug a player like Giannis in there, and then when you do have someone like Chris Middleton back, and these are two guys that know how to work together. Drew Holiday is just another special player, especially on the defensive end, the way that he plays on ball. So then if a guy does get past that perimeter defense, there's Giannis, there's Brook Lopez, there's other pieces that just play at such a high level.
The other guy they're missing right now is Pat Connaughton too, which
wow.
I know that's not like, oh my God, but him and Middleton, it's still a part of their team. We got to talk about a couple of teams more, and I just need you to contain your laughter.
I already, if you're laughing about someone, you only hate on one team so far this season.
Who's that?
The Timberwolves.
No.
Ooh, Lakers?
How about the only team in the NBA without a win?
Lakers! Oh, we can't be petty? Oh, we gonna be petty right now because it's fun.
And also,
let it happen.
I feel like in the NBA, people love this one too. The Brooklyn Nets lost tonight to the Indiana Pacers. The Nets, Morgan, are 1-5.
What losers? Do they even know what winning looks like?
In all seriousness,
The irony.
Morgan, we've talked so much about the Lakers' struggles and the dynamics there. I think that's been established. They're not a good team. It's a mess.
Russ coming off the bench again.
It's a joke. Okay, they're just not good in any way.
Yep.
Even with LeBron, I don't believe in
their
it.
system. I agree.
Brooklyn.
That's what I want to talk about.
Kyrie had 35 tonight. Durant had 26. You're like, oh, you like your chances. They gave up 125 points to a Pacers team who, by the way, was on the second night of a back-to-back after beating Washington.
Ooh.
Tyrese Halliburton had 26.
Ooh.
My guy, Benedict Mathurin, 32 points for him tonight on 8 of 16. He was 6 of 9. 6-9 from 3. The Pacers knocked down 23 three-pointers. The Nets' defense has been atrocious to start this season.
So bizarre. It's bizarre. Well, okay,
I didn't think they were going to be this bad defensively.
That's what I'm saying. It's bizarre that it's this bad because you add someone in Ben Simmons who is a player that can guard multiple positions, has been elite at times, but hasn't been on the floor in so long. So not only is he not contributing enough on that end, he's not contributing enough as a playmaker, as a scorer. He's not doing much of anything. And you saw flashes of, okay, he's going to find his groove. He's going to be this playmaker. His vision is incredible, and he can find the incredible talent around him. It hasn't been what it's supposed to be.
And I don't know how long we wait until we judge Simmons, because he has been abysmal, to me, in terms of, I think the most disappointing part is defensively, because he's had a reputation in the past. He also hasn't played in a year. And then you look at his numbers on the season. It's Morgan. We used to make fun of Draymond triple single. Ben Simmons, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 44% shooting. He hasn't made a 3 this year. He's playing 31 minutes a night.
It's funny. Kate Scott on the Sixers broadcast a few nights ago, James Harden had like a nice step back. They won the game or something. And she's like, who won the trade? Who won the trade?
Damn.
Yeah, she dropped that. And I was just like, she's so elite.
Let's talk about Maxey. My guy Tyrese Maxey dropped 44 last night.
Okay.
And they won. Tyrese Maxey's a guy.
He is.
That could be a steal, and they need to make sure to get him going. We should mention the rookie class for a second, because Banchero has been awesome. He's number 1 in scoring in the rookie class.
Yeah.
Banchero, 23.5 points a game, Morgan. 8 rebounds, just under 4 assists, 1.3 blocks.
He's fun to watch,
Dude,
too.
He again, a guy that he just comes in right away, can play. Then you got Keegan, who's second. If this is updated, it's at 7. Oh, and actually, no. I think this is not updated right. He's third in scoring.
Okay.
In rookie scoring. Number 2 is Benedict Mathurin. And, that guy, I loved him pre-draft because of his athleticism, his confidence.
The dog.
He's got that dog in him, man. Pacers are going to have a fun backcourt going forward with him and Halliburton.
Absolutely. Just Halliburton's ability to play make. I know at times it was frustrating with the Sacramento Kings when it was like, why are you leaving your feet? He's one of those players that understands the game at a high level. So he's only going to grow and develop his understanding of the game as well. And is just going to be better as he continues his career. And,
when we were talking about like rookie of the year race, we knew Banchero was probably going to get like a lot of touches. On the season, he's shooting 46.5%, just 32% from 3-point land. So not doing well from 3. But,
no, but they're going to need a lot of him. Yeah. Where, like we've talked about before, Keegan Murray
just fits.
Yep.
He's got pieces around him.
I'll take it.
What do you think the Nets do with all this? Because it wasn't long ago that Kevin Durant wanted out. The Kyrie thing, just from, there's a lot of drama going on with him. Just, promoting some ridiculous documentary or something. Look it up. You probably missed it. Yeah,
I missed it then.
You probably missed it. Everything that comes with Kyrie Irving. And they're not doing well. The Ben Simmons, all that. What? I feel like
can I go to the next thing, though? You didn't mention this. Steve Nash, too.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Oh,
I said, Wait, before you just jumped in there, I was going there. Don't look at me like that.
Don't do that.
I'm just being honest. But why do you look at me?
Don't do that.
I was trying to say, first opening. What about Steve Nash?
It's called like, hey, I'm excited. Interjecting.
Let's rewind again.
Okay.
Like, remember when you interrupted me earlier out of nowhere? Like in the beginning when I was talking about my grandma?
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first domino of the fall.
Yeah. Who? Please tell me. I'll sit back.
Steve Nash.
My turn? Steve Nash, everybody. You saw that still image of his face when he got ejected the other evening, and things just don't look good. I haven't seen... It's good to see Steve Nash at a different level. Like, he's invested, but a little out of control because everything's a little out of control over there. So I don't know where and what's going to change first in Brooklyn.
I know this is not final yet, but Utah's about to win again. They're about to beat Memphis. Utah's about to be 5-2. I knew this team was scary a little bit. Ainge, when are you going to blow this up?
Yeah, tank for Wemby. Man, what are you doing?
That's going to be a big... And Desmond Bain tonight, 32. Bane's on fire to start.
He
Disgusting. No John Morant in that one. So yeah.
Yeah, but even John Morant, you see him get better and better game by
Tyus
game.
Jones, 23 points, 10 assists. I love Tyus Jones.
You talked about the way he can step up just in the second unit. You're seeing him start tonight and finish with 23 points. Incredible.
Markkanen with 23.
Dylan Brooks with a good offensive game.
Olynyk with 23. Clarkson 21. Let's go next on Night Chat to Kramer. Hey, Kramer.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What is up, dude?
What is up? Feeling good about tonight's win for sure.
Yeah.
I think like one thing to point out is just like if we're gonna win games moving forward, like everybody that hits the floor is gonna have to, play at a high level. I mean, at this point, like because obviously, we're not gonna have Huerter going 7 for 8 from 3 every game.
Oh, he has 7 threes another game this year, and we're only 5 games in, Kramer.
That's true. I mean, I love it, but like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen every game. You know what I mean? But like, I think we showed that tonight. Like everybody stepped up. Like the people coming off the bench, even in small bursts, being efficient. Like Lyles was just great for us, and looking forward to that. And I'm hoping we go on a little win streak right now.
Yeah, it'd be nice to string something together, and I think it would be just good for the vibe with the team, but also just for the fan base to be like, okay, yeah, we're seeing in the first 5 some good things, but now it's starting to pay off.
For sure.
Yeah. Who else jumped out to you tonight, man?
I mean, obviously Fox. I mean, Fox is playing crazy. I think he's playing out of his mind right now. Like, just 13 rebounds is crazy. The defensive plays that he made tonight, just like even from everybody, I just feel like everybody's playing with so much more intensity and effort, like all 4 quarters, even though obviously like the third quarter was really bad for us. Like I just felt like the effort was there the whole game.
I have a question for you and Morgan then.
What?
Think about this. When's the last time we could say that Fox was 6 of 17 and that he had a good game? You know what I mean? And that's probably the
Almost
biggest
never.
difference this year, right?
Yeah.
Is that Fox could have a shooting night that wasn't his best. He had some that just popped out. It wasn't like terrible or anything, but he had an impact on the game.
And I think the thing that people were always not seeing was they weren't trusting the flashes, which was totally fair because they were never consistent. And there's guys in the NBA that just take longer to develop and or just don't have the right pieces or coaching staff or leaders around them to get the most out of them. And you hear a lot of older former players always say, it's on, if you don't want it at this level, then you don't have it. Hey, people are built different. Some people need the right leadership and management to really bring it out of them. And I feel like that's what's happening. You're seeing him learn basketball at a high level from some great coaches, a great head coach that is setting a standard that is really making him play at a different level.
Exactly. I mean, like, there's no way last season I would have ever said that Fox had his best game going 6 for 17. Like, this was his best game. And, like, he wasn't as efficient offensively as he was in the past, games this season. So it's really good to see for sure.
Well, thanks for checking in, Kramer.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
See ya. There's Kramer. Yeah, I thought he was really good. And Ken was bringing this up in the chat. What about that spin cycle he had on the lane? Was that on? Who was that on? Remember he had that spin move for the score?
Was it down on the left side too that he ended up spinning scoring that? I'd have to see. Okay.
Steven said that Fox looked a little bit fatigued tonight, but he played well on defense. Yeah, it was Hero. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks, chat. Appreciate Chris.
Good
Tan,
job.
probably right. Appreciate that. Yeah. He was really impressive. And that was good. Also in the chat, thank you so much, Jonathan Austin, who became a new YouTube member, joined the Why Not Club.
Thanks, Jonathan.
JD Kaiser says, especially with the foul trouble, can Domas anchor a defense? Yeah, the fouls tonight, we kind of talked about that earlier. I didn't think some of them were really poor calls, in my opinion. But you're not asking Domas to anchor your defense. This Kings team has currently constructed. It's gonna be a team defense.
Yep.
They all got to bring it.
And I appreciate a really good team defense because I personally feel like you can accomplish so much more. Obviously, when you have individual pieces that are elite plugged into that team defense, it can bring you to a whole different level. But hey, if you don't have all those pieces, then just make sure that you can make your team defense play at an elite level. And the Kings aren't there yet, but you're seeing promise. So,
Brian Parker, we haven't seen this guy in a little
what?
bit. What's up, Brian?
You know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. What's going on, Deuce and Mo?
Hey, man.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Red Velvet.
You like a little red velvet?
A little red velvet cake. I don't know if you know that song Black Velvet back in, I don't know, the 80s, but
No. That's something James Ham would ask Brendan on the podcast.
Well, even if you don't know the song, I'm going to sing you a parody of a song that you don't know.
Okay, let's go. You ready for this one?
All right. Red velvet makes the Kings fans smile. Red velvet, another strong shooting night. A new Kings era that will bring you down to your knees. Red velvet, if you please.
Wow. We'll take it.
BP.
We'll take it. And if anyone has a problem with his singing, then you bring it better than him. You come in here. We can have a Deuce and Mo talent show if you want on Night Chat one of these nights. Bring it.
Oh, and let me mention this too really quick, Brian. We also have on our new website, we have a page just specifically for our community, and all the songs, all the artwork and everything, all the photos we have with people we put on there, and we have like 2 of your songs on there. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. You guys, I've missed you. I've been a responsible adult and getting to bed at an early hour here in Tennessee. So this is the only time I could really come in and say hello and say I still listen to you, watch you the next day. And gosh dang it, you're still killing it like always. Proud of you both.
I appreciate it. Just so you know, Steven in the chat says, I give that performance a solid 2.5 out of 10.
Wow. Thanks, Steven.
But
Hey,
Chris says A+.
There you go.
Oh, well, you're not going to please everybody, especially if you look like you're a waiter at Olive Garden. I'd love another bread rolls, what are they called? Breadsticks?
Breadsticks, yes.
Is that a shot at me?
Yes.
That's fine. All right, man. All right, Brian. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate you.
Go Kings. No problem.
Bye.
It is kind of amazing when people want to take shots at outfits. I know, Morgan, you got some shots at your last outfit, and that's fine. Here's the thing. I'm in great shape right now. I look fantastic. My fits look amazing, and people love me.
Okay. He's back, everybody. He's back. He's gonna go into waves. Can I just say really quick, my sparkly suit outfit that I wore the other night, it was probably the most controversial outfit I've worn ever in my life. And the amount of people that were like, oh, is this a costume? Are you trying to be Craig Sager? And then other people like, this is by far, you are working it, girl. Best thing I've ever seen. What is the brand? I'm buying it right now. And there was never an in-between like, oh, you look good tonight. It was
either
one
great
or the other.
bad. Yeah, which is good.
But you know what? I rock whatever the hell I want to rock, and I don't care what you say. Like that?
I think Brian's a little better at that stuff. All right. Oh, wow. Look who's here.
Oh, no.
Nick.
Coach Deuce and Mo, why not win it tonight? Why not?
Yeah, they won tonight. You were at the game tonight.
Yes, I was standing right behind Deuce. I said, why not?
I did not hear you. Why aren't you showing your face tonight? Huh? Oh, now he's doing okay.
Nope, it's loading, and there's his eyeball.
There's Nick. All right.
Okay.
Can I ask why you have the phone so close to your face? You're just your eye.
All right, can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah. Great. There he is.
How you doing? How you doing today, Morgan?
How about how's Deuce doing today?
No, it's
how are you doing today, Deuce?
I'm hanging in there, Nick.
He did ask. He goes, why? He goes, where's Deuce? And I was like, over there. He goes, why wasn't Deuce at the game? I was like, well, his grandma died, and he's like, oh.
I'm sorry that you lost your grandma, and it kind of reminded me that I remember when my dad's mom and my dad's dad passed away, my grandma and grandpa, when they passed away, and it's kind of like losing a family member.
Oh.
And I feel sorry for you, and I feel bad for you, dudes, and I'm sorry for your loss.
That's sweet, Nick.
I appreciate
But
that, Nick.
but we're here for you, dudes.
Thanks.
Oh, Nick, you're so
Thanks.
sweet. Hey, Nick, do you remember that time when you stood behind me at the game and screamed "Why not" so loud I had to turn around and tell you to shh?
Yes.
Yeah. You were a really good fan tonight. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I was. Hey, why not? Why not win tonight? And my coach Carl gave me tickets tonight for lower levels. I got to section 104.
Ooh, so you're lower
Wow.
level Nick tonight. What was your favorite part about tonight?
Getting the win tonight.
No, I know it's about getting the win. I'm digging here, more specific. Was there a player who you liked tonight?
Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
Why do you like Keegan Murray?
Because he was shooting good three pointers.
Yeah, he was. All right. Well, what are you up to tonight, man? It's a what time is it?
8:30.
It's a Saturday night at 8:30. What's on your I can't talk. What's your plans
schedule.
tonight? Yeah, what's on your schedule? What's on the docket? I was going to say, who says that? I tried to change it last second. What are you doing tonight?
Probably just relaxing.
What's that mean? What's
Are you
a
watching
Nick-
TV?
Just watching TV.
What are you going to watch?
Well, I did today.
Oh.
I got a I got a
You're really
I
excited.
got a
Oh, you got a medal?
silver medal from I did my Special Olympics bowling tournament today at Bolero, and we all did great today. So I came in second place, silver medal.
Whoa! Do you know what you bowled?
I think a 240, 212, I believe.
Is that with bumpers up,
246.
bumpers up, or bumpers down?
Bumpers down.
Nick, good job, dude.
You're amazing.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. So it because I did hear that the sad news was that Melanie Hunter from KGR3 has stepped off from. She signed off from KGR3 News, so she.
Oh, really?
Melanie Hunter is moving to Boston. She got married to her husband, so they're moving.
Well, that's good.
go
That's
back
good
to
news.
that.
That's good news. But stop. Yeah, let's go back to something. You won a silver medal today, Nick. Tell me, what's the key to being a good bowler? Like, how do I become good?
You got it, but you got to bowl right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Hey, Nick, why not win a silver medal?
Why not win a silver medal? It goes to where all my collections.
That's cool, man. Congrats. We're proud of you.
And also we are and I also wanted to say that Discovery All-Stars is just a reminder. We are looking Discovery All-Stars starting on.
So Nick, I just need to be clear for a second. You have been waiting for like 45 minutes to talk. You thought you maybe get a little organized, get all your stuff together, and now you're like searching through documents to promote something else. What Discovery All-Star? What's going on?
Please join us for a fundraiser supporting Discovery All-Stars at Letter B's Family
Creamery. Yeah, you
yeah.
got it. Yep.
Where every day is Sunday, 233 Arden, 2333 Arden Way.
Every day is Sunday. I get it because it's Sundays, ice cream Sundays. Yeah. When is it?
It is Thursday, November 10th, 2022, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay. Well, we've noted it. Thank you so much, Nick.
Discovery All-Stars will receive 20% of the sales that we bring into Letterbees during the above allotted times. Just mention our fundraiser or give this invitation to the cashier when you pay your bill to ensure that we.
Yeah.
Nick, that is great.
And Nick, why not get a Sunday at Leatherby's? Hey, man, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Well, sleep dreams.
And also, another thing is...
Another thing? You've 7 minutes here, Nick!
Another thing is, if anybody wants to buy the Why Not shirts, all money goes to Special Olympics, Northern California.
Yes. Thanks so much. DeuceandMo.com. Say DeuceandMo.com.
DeuceandMo.com. You can buy your Why Not
All right.
shirts and you can wear it to the games. Why not wear the shirts?
Okay.
Why not, Nick? Sleep dreams.
Sleep dreams, Deuce and Mo.
Oh, Nick.
The best.
Oh, my God.
The best. You wouldn't expect anything different from him. I had one more note for you, too, if that's okay.
Yes.
Do you remember Zach, the Paralympics table tennis player
Yes, I
that
do.
I met in Vegas?
Yeah, at the showcase last year.
and he plays and he's really good and he's local. Well, I saw him tonight and I was like, please DM me what is going on, because he said that there's even more news about what he's been doing, and he said it's been going great. After winning the tournament in Vegas, he began playing with the US Paranational team and went to tournaments in Barcelona and Cancun, playing someone ranked 8th in the world, my first ever game abroad. So it's been an adjustment, LOL. Got 3rd at the Cancun tournament, though, and won the U.S. Nationals for para players. So it's been going well. He's killing it.
Yeah.
Excited for you, Zach.
Hell yes. That's dope. That is really cool.
Super cool.
Congrats to him. We will be back live again Halloween night.
Ooh.
That was so stupid.
Was it good?
Well, I'm going to be irritated if I hear the door. I'm putting a sign on the door, candy outside, because when I'm doing night chat talking about a Kings win, if I hear,
Nobody's going to be, it's going to be too late.
no.
Kids don't come that late.
Morgan.
If they do, then they're murderers, not kids.
Morgan, tip-off's at 4.
Oh.
It's an early night chat coming up next
Murder
week with the
children.
Kings on the road. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, spread the word, all that good stuff. We love you guys so much, but we gots to go.
Thank you for everything and for being here tonight. Have a wonderful evening. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.